Elena Marlowe was known for her serenity, the K title, the art of silent revenge, through and of calm that made people lean in when she spoke. A painter of rare talent, her art was her world. But her piece shattered the day she discovered that the man who had promised her forever had stolen not just her heart, but her masterpiece. Nathan Cole, her fiancé and art dealer, had secretly sold her most personal painting, The Promise, under his own name. It was the piece that captured their love story, a swirl of colors, tender and raw, her emotions bleeding into every stroke. The painting was sold for a fortune to a private collector in Paris, and Nathan's name had suddenly become a sensation in the art world. When Elena found the truth, she didn't scream. She didn't cry. She only stared at the empty space on her studio wall where her painting once hung. Her hands trembled, but her face stayed still. Revenge, she decided, would not be loud. It would be art, quiet, beautiful, and unforgettable. For 3 months, Elena disappeared. No calls, no exhibitions, no social media. The art world whispered, was she ill, heartbroken, dead? Nathan, meanwhile, basked in his rising fame. His stolen glory got him invitations, interviews, and money. He was planning his next big showcase, a collection titled Echoes of the Soul. What the world didn't know was that Elena had painted most of those echoes. But the calm before a storm always feels safe until thunder rolls. Elena returned, not as herself, but as Eve Hart, a mysterious new painter, whose work appeared suddenly in a small Paris gallery. Her first exhibition drew curious eyes. Her paintings were breathtaking, sorrow blended with vengeance, beauty woven with pain. Each piece had one subtle detail, a reflection, a shadow, or a background figure resembling Nathan Cole. It was as if she was haunting him on every canvas. Critics were obsessed. Who was Eve Hart? Why did her art feel so heartbreakingly familiar? Nathan's name began appearing in reviews again, but this time, in comparison to her greater than Eve Hart's emotional depth makes Nathan Cole's work look hollow, wrote the art review. She paints truth, he paints imitation, another critic added. The irony was delicious. Elena watched from afar as Nathan's fame began to crack under the weight of her silent masterpiece. But her plan wasn't complete. One night, Nathan received a private invitation, greater than exclusive art auction, featuring a never-before-seen painting by Eve Hart. The painting's title, The Betrayal. The world buzzed with anticipation. Rumors said it was her most personal work, a confession, a story painted in silence. When Nathan arrived at the auction, the lights dimmed, and the curtain drew back. There it was, the betrayal. A man stood in the center of the canvas, his face painted in haunting realism, his smile charming, but his shadow twisted into a monstrous silhouette. Behind him, a woman painted a masterpiece, her hands bleeding color, while he reached out and tore it from her easel. It was him. The audience gasped. Whispers filled the room like wildfire. Someone said his name out loud. Cameras flashed. Reporters scribbled. Nathan froze. His face drained of color. He looked around, but Elena, or Eve, was nowhere to be seen. That night, the betrayal sold for a record-breaking sum, and with it, Nathan's career collapsed. Sponsors withdrew. Galleries cancelled. Journalists dug up his past, his fraud, his deceit. The art world turned its back. Elena didn't need to lift a finger. Her brush had done it for her. Months later, Elena stood alone in her studio. Sunlight spilling across her new canvas. The world now knew Eve Hart's real identity. Elena Marlowe, the woman Nathan Cole had betrayed. Instead of shame, the truth brought her glory. People called her the Phoenix Painter, the artist who turned heartbreak into immortality. Nathan, on the other hand, vanished from the public eye. Some said he fled to Italy. Others whispered he couldn't bear to paint again. One evening, Elena received a letter. No name, just shaky handwriting. Greater than, you won. But I see your face in every color I try to mix. Every shadow reminds me of you. She smiled softly and tore it in half. Revenge, she thought, wasn't about destruction, it was about reclaiming what was stolen. And she had reclaimed everything, her art, her name, and her power. As the final stroke of her new painting dried, Elena stepped back and looked at it, a woman standing before a shattered mirror, her reflection forming a new masterpiece from the fragments. She titled it, Rebirth. Her exhibition invitation read, Greater Than, The Art of Silent Revenge, by Elena Marlowe. Beneath it, in smaller text, Greater Than, every masterpiece begins with a broken heart.